Hello and welcome to Quasi's Bell Tower with your host, Quasi. And today we're going to learn how to make icy snow magnetic tiles 2.0. Here they are. So let's get to it. Okay, I've gone ahead and already cut a whole bunch of 3x3 squares for this. Now remember, the material I use for the polyurethane or the XPS foam is 3/4 inch thick. Not half an inch and not an inch, but 3/4. So what I'm going to do here now is I have this set up at 1/4 inch, and we're going to cut the tops off all of these. So let's get to it. Okay, now that we have the tops all cut off, we're going to take the bottom piece here and we're going to take the edges off. We're going to cut them down another 1/8 inch thick. So I'm just going to go ahead and zip these through, and you're going to do this to all 4 sides. Okay, now that we're done with our tops and bottoms, we're going to take the top piece here and we're going to put our grid on. And we're going to do this like Black Magic Crafted. But if you don't have one of these peroxide cutters, you can just do this with a knife or a pencil. But make sure this is really thin, so don't go all the way through it. So we're going to go ahead and just turn this on and just really quickly just dab that line in there. Don't worry about if you went too deep or not. Just make sure you don't go all the way through it. Try to make your lines as nice as possible as you can. My hands are a little shaky today, so I already see a mistake in my first one, but no big deal. But that's it, guys. That's all you got to do to make that nice little grid there. Now we'll move on to the next step. Hey, look, he's in a whole different outfit. Well, that's because one of the video clips I didn't like the way it was done. So we're going to redo this all over so you guys can see this, hopefully see this a little bit better. So this has to do with the top piece of your ice terrain. So we got our squares already set up, and all we're going to do is we're going to take a lighter. I prefer using one of these, like well, I wouldn't say torch lighters, but one of these lighters you would use to light a stove or something like that. You can get these at Walmart or any store. But all I'm going to do is take this light. Hopefully I can do this so you guys can see it and I can see it. And just run it back and forth across this. Just gently, not really quite touching it. But back and forth just enough so you can get this nice little rippled effect on it. Sometimes they come out better than others. Yeah, I guess it all depends on how fast you're doing it or not. It kind of comes down to practice and skill. So you might want to have a couple scrap pieces of these made up just in case it doesn't come out quite right. It all depends on how it burns. But if you look at it really nicely, you can see some of those ripples. Some usually come out better than others, like I said, but it's a practice thing. So that's it on that. Okay guys, so I have my tiles here, and these are the ones I originally did. I'm going to try to do another snowy terrain here because I really like the snowy terrain look. I'm going to do an icy one. I think that'll be the best for this one. That didn't quite burn the way I want it. Some of the colors I was using were, if you can see this, Chinese blue, which is a really light color. I'll be using it on this, and a summer sky. I might add some a drop of another dark blue, or not dark blue, but a darker blue than this one, into there to give it more of a darker look. And then I'll go over it with a white, of course, for the snow and everything else. So let's see how these turn out. Okay guys, before I get to this last part, which is basically just dry brushing the snow on, I realized that the 2 tiles I have here, which were the original I did, I thought the colors were a little too light. So basically all I did is add some blue to it, or this K-Man blue to it, and made these 2 a little darker. So I'm going to just dry brush them on and see how they look. And then we'll go on to putting on the magnets and everything else. Okay, now I have all 4 of these done. I'm gonna do the snow one and I'll put the magnets on, but you know, like this one could be an ice one. You could do an ice one maybe with that. You could do maybe just snow with that, but you'll just find eventually you'll find a certain way you like doing it and it'll work for you. So it all depends. You want snow or do you want ice? But let's get to the magnets now. Now the magnets are a adhesive magnet tape strips. There's an 18 pack. There's like 3 sleeves, but there's 18 in each one, or 6 in each one, sorry guys. But you can get these at Walmart for like 97 cents, I think it is. So that's an easy pickup right there. So let's get to the magnets and let's get that going. Now when I do the magnets, I usually try to get them so they're all going to connect and face the same way so the north and south poles don't pull. But sometimes these magnets are a little not quite, I want to say, centered in a way when they cut these. So sometimes you do have a little bit of problem with them, but overall they work real well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take one of these magnets and I'm going to take my super glue and I'm just going to glue it on, take the tape off. Now it's all sticky here. I put the sticky side here on this here. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a bead of super glue on this. Hopefully this super glue will come out because it's almost empty. Here we go. Draw a nice little bead. Slap it on there. Now the magnet's a 1/2 inch thick, and your foam when you cut it out should be a 1/2 inch thick too. So that's going to work out perfect. So then you make sure you got that stuck on there, cut off the excess, and then just do another strip. And what I like to do sometimes is I like to test to see if it's gonna center up or not. Sometimes these guys are a pain in the butt and they don't really want to, but you can get them pretty close. So, and you just decide which side you want it to be the top and what you don't. I'm going to use that, so I'm going to do it like this. So you go ahead and just put all 4 sides on there, and then we'll be right back. Okay guys, now the magnet is completely done on all 4 sides. So all you're going to do is put your top on and it should all basically square up perfectly. So you're just going to glue it on there and then you'll be done. And there you go, one magnetic tile. Okay guys, one more thing before I go. If you want to give it a nice like icy shine to it, put some of that mid-wax polyurethane spray on it and it'll give it a nice shine. So I hope you guys like that tutorial for the Ice and Snow Magnetic Dungeon Tiles 2.0. Please comment, subscribe, and like always, ring that like button like a hunchback. Till next time.